This presentation was created to establish best practices to improve the decoding and encoding skills of a first grade student. The following slides will introduce the Focus first grade student, provide information on strategies and interventions already in place for this student, and introduce 3 new best practice strategies and Tier 1 interventions and how they will be applied into daily literacy instruction. These strategies and interventions can be applied to other first graders with the same literacy challenges. According to R.E. Mayer, author of Learning and Instruction, decoding is referred to as the process of translating a printed word into a sound. Encoding is the opposite, where individual sounds are used to build and write words. Decoding is said to be the reading, and encoding is the writing. Decoding and encoding skills are needed for literacy success because they are the foundation for understanding what is read and what is written, supporting comprehension and fluency. In order to read and write with accuracy, students need to recognize the letters of the alphabet, understand letter-sound relationships, have the ability to break words apart and blend them together. Having these skills supports their ability to read and write with fluency. Reading Horizon states, decoding is important because it is the foundation on which all other reading instruction builds. Encoding is the reverse process. According to the Fall-Dibble score, the Focus student Joe is below benchmark in phoneme segmentation and decoding and blending of nonsense consonant-vowel-consonant words. At times, he uses onset and rhymes, but mostly relies on beginning sounds when decoding an unknown word. Joe is also struggling with encoding. During Writer's Workshop, he is reluctant on writing because he says he can't write. When encouraged to do so, he is writing beginning sounds and some ending sounds. He is just beginning to add some medial sounds. Joe is unable to write blends as he struggles to hear those sounds. He does not have consistent spacing of his words during writing, making it difficult to read what he writes. After assessment and analysis of data, Joe was selected to participate in reading recovery. During the school's RTI block, Joe works in a small intervention group. This intervention group is a double dose of the word study program by Wilson called Foundations. The intervention group is led by the school's reading coach. Joe also has extra word work during his guided reading group. This is considered extra because it is in addition to the typical word work given during group. The word work includes reading and writing CVC words, working with onset and rhymes, and building word families. This guided reading group is led by the classroom teacher. Joe is also supported during Writer's Workshop by working in a small group or working with the classroom teacher one-on-one. During this time, using graphic organizers, highlighted lines, and sound cards are used to help organize thoughts and build words. Additional strategies and Tier 1 interventions that can benefit this literacy challenge include using word boxes, using a program called Making Words, and implementing explicit encoding instruction. In the article, The Effects of Word Box Instruction on Acquisition, Generalization, and Maintenance of Decoding and Spelling Skills for First Graders, the authors state the National Reading Panel recommends that teachers provide explicit instruction of letter-sound correspondence to students through second grade. In fact, researchers have shown that explicit instruction of letter-sound correspondence leads to successfully developing early reading skills in the primary grades. The authors state word box instruction is a technique that teachers use to supplement general classroom reading instruction, targeting sequential one-to-one letter-sound correspondences in words. Joe needs to build skills in phoneme segmentation and blending sounds. Using these boxes will support the development of these skills. This activity can also be used with other students in the classroom. It can be used individually or in small groups. It also can be used during whole group lessons by projecting the boxes on a smartboard or easel. The word boxes can also be implemented to support encoding skills during Writer's Workshop or guided reading groups. Authors, educators Dorothy Hall, Tom Hagee, and Patricia Cunningham developed this resource called Making Words, which is described as an innovative developmental approach to teaching phonics and spelling. This classroom resource contains lessons in which students select letters to build short and long words. It also includes effective tools for strengthening spelling and phonics skills. Making Words is a multi-level book that explores words and letter patterns while increasing vocabulary. Adele Aiken and Lisa Baer share their experiences with implementing Making Words in the article They Love Words, written in 2002. They say Making Words allows each student to manipulate a set of 6 to 8 letters to construct words dedicated by the teacher. Baer shares it strengthens encoding and spelling more than decoding, but if she reminds the students during the lesson to read the word after they construct it, the decoding comes into focus. Both Aiken and Baer feel this instructional strategy must not drive the curriculum. It should be there, but its connection to many and varied opportunities to read and write is vitally important. In thinking of ways to use this as a part of differentiated instruction, one can implement it into RTI block during small group or individual work with a reading block, or it may be used with the entire classroom. The resource can be manipulated to fit with your student needs and the structure of your classroom. To assess students' progress in decoding and encoding with the use of word boxes in Making Words strategy, use the Dibbles assessment and probes used by the school and the phonemic awareness and phonics assessment provided by Literacy Resources from 2013, as well as teacher and informal observations. So much focus can be placed on decoding skills. Studies show that reading and writing go hand in hand. Having a determined time specifically for encoding instruction will develop students' skills in this area. Beverly Weiser and Patricia Matthews, authors of the article Using Encoding Instruction to Improve the Reading and Spelling Performances of Elementary Students at Risk for Literacy Difficulties, a Best Practice Evidence Synthesis, shares findings to support for using encoding instruction to increase the literacy performances of at-risk primary grade students, and that encoding instruction can be successful in improving the reading and spelling performances of older students with learning disabilities. In their study, both intervention groups used included manipulating and writing letters to help students understand the relationship of the alphabetical principle. To assess and progress monitor student development of encoding skills, the end-of-the-unit foundation tests will be used, along with the weekly checkup through dictation practice. The teacher can use informal observation data to document progress. To differentiate instruction, additional support during work time provided specific manipulatives based on student needs. For example, using plastic letters versus letter tiles for students who are visual and tactile learners and need to see and feel the shape of the letters for additional support. Using an easel as opposed to being flat on the table, or providing students with their own set of tiles and letters to manipulate instead of sharing with the class or group. Additional instruction can take place during the RTI block. So in order for students to develop strong reading and writing skills, we need to start with ensuring that all basic foundational skills are achieved. This includes being able to recognize the letters in the alphabet, understanding letter-sound relationships, and having the ability to build words and take words apart. Building on these basic skills will develop decoding and encoding skills, ensuring literacy achievement. In using word boxes, strategies such as Making Words, and explicitly instruction in encoding skills, students will become proficient readers and writers. These strategies and interventions can be used individually with struggling students or with whole classrooms to develop literacy skills.